just did the Sweet Dream Q&A for the new film, but recently, a week ago, I just dropped another film that we shot called Adam and Eve. It's on my YouTube page. It's starring Michael J. Sanchez and Brittney Ray, and it's basically about a relationship. Here, we don't need this one here no more. It's about
what you mean?
Basically, a couple that breaks up and they're just dealing with the emotions of loss between each other. It's online. You can check it out now. And I directed and shot it and all that. And Sergio,
is texting while the fucking thing is going.
Basically, while I was telling him we should do a Q&A episode for Sweet Dream, he told me, well, we should do a Q&A for Adam and Eve. So what's your questions that you have for us, Sergio?
What was your inspiration behind Adam and Eve? Please tell us what inspired you to make this short film.
Well, my inspiration was, I've been working on a lot of shorts lately, and I really wanted to do something simple, something that we could shoot really quick. Brittney, the actress.
Why? I'm sorry to interrupt you.
What's up?
Why do you want to keep it short and sweet?
I wanted to do something short that was visually more appealing than the dialogue, because I always do a lot of dialogue. I wanted to do something that was a little bit more visual, and that something I could put out to the internet while I've been working on all these other films that have been complicated due to dialogue. But also, Brittney had messaged me and said that she's gonna be in town over some really deep stuff that was going on
in her personal life.
but she might want to shoot something just to take her mind off of it. So in the time period, I was sort of thinking, okay, let me see if I can think of something we could shoot quick that while she's here, because she lives in New York. And Mike's always telling me he's down to shoot something. So the idea just kind of hit me, and when it hit me, it was like, okay, I think I know what we can do. And this is a thing that it's light, but it's emotional. So any feelings she has, she can sort of let them loose. She doesn't have to act happy when she's going through something sad, you know? And I know Mike, for a long time, I've had a lot of people tell me that they see a lot of potential in him, and I always see the same potential as far as being dramatic and just visually just giving off a lot of angst and anger, and I feel that, and I wanted to show that in a movie. And I feel like the other films we had, we just never had the ability to just show that expression. So with this, like, it just kind of came to me that a breakup's the best way to sort of show that physical angst that you go through and everything. And I don't know, it just came as like a vision, and we shot it, and the way it came out was like a dream. Like, it came out exactly the way I envisioned it, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, also I fired him up. That's what I'm gonna say.
What?
I fired him up.
He said he fired you up.
How?
You know, I'm always, like you said, Mike is always down to do stuff. I'm always texting him, like, yo, let's do something. Because I know, like he said, he knows my potential. I know his potential. And I say, yo, we could put out a cinematic masterpiece, you know?
Oh.
I feel like Sweet Dream was decent. But Adam and Eve, I felt like was really shot well. People received it well.
Yeah.
You know, and that was proof of that. You know, we put it out. We didn't expect. Honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't expect people to tune in that much. You know.
Yeah.
Because as far as I was concerned, I was just coming to improvise something. You know.
When
Chris just threw me in.
When I came up with the idea, I knew that we'd be shooting soon. So I wrote up like a draft in my phone of basically each shot. I wanted to limit it to like one shot per scene. So it was like it would only be one shot in every scene, and then we'd cut to another one. Very little audio, if any, and just plain. So I wrote it, and I knew what would happen in each scene. So I told the guys, I told Brittney and Mike to show up, and I'll tell you in the moment what's happening. I didn't want them to come with too much preconceived ideas of how they should act. I don't want them to overact. I don't want them to think about it too much or anything. I just wanted them to show up and basically just show up and just do something and just act natural, like something just happened to them. And it worked out well. Everything we did was a one take.
So Mike, did you feel like when you were casted for this role, did you feel like your emotions were in the right place to play this role, or do you feel like you had to force yourself to be in this character?
Well, I'm a very emotional person. I think that's no secret. I've been in that situation before. You know, obviously it was a different scenario, but it's still relatable. You know, I thought I was pretty, for the most part, yeah.
Ready.
It's very relatable.
Because I know him, I know the stuff he's been through, and I know that sort of emotions come easier to him. Like, he deals with it a lot, anxiety and stuff like that. So with that, like, I just knew that I could just throw it to him and he'd be able to do it. So that was something that it just comes from knowing the people very well. Like, working with people a lot, you know what is easier for them to do. I know dialogue is always tougher for him, that he wants to get the enunciation right and everything.
Oh yeah.
That he just wants to work when it comes to dialogue. He really wants to take his time and practice it. But when it comes to physical things, that is always comes a lot naturally.
Yo, the signature mic move.
What? He does that? Why does he do that?
All the time, yo. He just showed me, what is the show called? Black Pill?
Oh, he
Black
did that?
Pill?
Duels on Black Pill.
Duels. This guy was like,
I guess, yo. That's like
I guess.
I mean, there's other
I know what you're
things
talking
that I
about,
do that I'm trying to work on.
Okay.
You know?
So anything?
So, Chris,
anything else?
the music choice. Why did you choose the music?
Oh yeah, that one's
What's
nice.
so special about the music
that one-
and why?
that
Because
one's
you
interesting.
told me
What?
everything that you chose was on purpose.
It was on purpose.
Tell me about the music.
Originally,
What's the name of the song, if you even know?
I like the song choice.
All right, so when I came up with the idea, I was originally thinking I don't want any music. I really want it to be just the sounds of nature around them, like just the sounds of the wind, the car, the them driving, stuff like that. Them arguing but not hearing what they're saying, just from the outside perspective of the car. I didn't want any.
I like that.
I didn't want any.
I like
dialogue.
that because I felt it. I felt
Yeah.
it. I knew they were together, and I knew they were going through something.
I didn't. I knew that I wanted sound for certain parts where it's like, I want him when he takes the clothes off and everything, because I want to hear his emotion. But I was contemplating just leaving it very dry and no music. I didn't want to have that issue with the music. I didn't want to have to wait too long.
What
But
song did you choose?
Yeah, I'm gonna get into. So basically, like, when we were shooting the scene with Brittney in the room, she was trying to do the scene, and I didn't tell her to cry. I told her she doesn't need to cry. But hold on, let's wait for this plane to pass. Hello, Miami. If we did this by your neighborhood, it'd be like every
Never
5
ending.
minutes. So
You want to
basically,
drink from the bottom of the glass? I'm sorry. The bottom?
Yo,
Wait,
drink
wait,
the
wait,
whole
wait, wait,
bottle?
wait. Give me some more, though. Go ahead. Wait. Which one do you want? I'll give you the glass.
No, I'm good. I don't want to drink, man. I retired drinking in March.
oh wow.
You just said you wanted some, but okay.
Did I say that?
Yes, you did.
All right.
No, I'm only playing. That's a
Stop
facade.
playing with me.
All right.
Go ahead.
So basically, when we were doing the scene in the room, I just gave her a couple directions. Like, you're on the bed, you're looking at photos. Then you're gonna walk up to the window, sort of look out the window, and just be thinking. And then the people watching, the viewers, are kind of put themselves in her place. Like, oh, it must hurt to be alone now, you know, and with your thoughts and your memories. But basically, when we went to go do a couple shots, like close-ups of her eyes and stuff, like, I didn't tell her to cry. Just she just felt like emotional. She wanted to show more emotion.
Aw.
So she wanted to be more emotional. So what she did was she put on this song called "Hymns to Love" by Edith. I forgot the last name.
Hey, yo.
Peltro.
She basically played the song. She played the song on her phone just to get herself in the right. I told her I wouldn't be using audio. So she played the song and she started to cry when she played it.
That's true.
And we were taping, and then we started laughing after because it was super emotional.
No, it's true. If
And
you
I
pick
told-
the right music
I-
or the right.
Yeah, and I told her I might not use this. Let me get the name of the song. I might not use it, but let me see how it fits with the actual.
What was the name of it?
It was called "Hymns of Love," but I think it's
Hymns of Love.
yeah, I think it's French, so it's like in a French, you know.
Should have played.
It's an
Wiz
older
Khalifa.
song.
Ooh la la.
But basically, she sent me
Très bien.
the song name. I looked it up, and then when I imported it into the sequence for that part, it was perfect because it gave the movie its life. You know, it gave it its story. The song fit perfectly with what the subject matter they were
So,
talking about.
Do you care to share what she was going through, or is that too personal?
I'll talk a little bit about it, but I'm not gonna say too much. But basically, she had told me that when she had to come down for a family emergency out of nowhere. She lives in New York, and when she found out she was on the subway and she was listening to that song, she started listening to that song and just crying because she knew the news was very sad, that it was something that could be really devastating. So it just, to me, when she told me that story, it just felt like a movie in itself. So I was like, that's crazy. And when I put the song in, she was in love with it, and she was like, it's amazing because it represents the time period of when we shot and everything was going on. Now everything's going better. The situation went fine. Family's okay, you know, and we have a movie there that kind of represents that time period. And it just fit perfectly, like, with everything that was going. Like, for me, I've been on like this subconscious wave of filmmaking where like you just let the elements come to you. Like, people feel like it's like karma and stuff happens. You do good things come. I think ideas come that way too. Like, when you just open yourself up to the universe, the elements come to you. Like, the actors come to you, the subject matter, the music. When it all comes together, it feels like, wow, like we're on a divine purpose, you know? Like, it's supposed to be this way because all the elements are coming together so well. That's why that film in general, it just feels perfect to me.
No, I mean, I just wanted to understand. I feel like a breakup is always a good subject to write on because everybody's always going through it. You know, everybody always wants to be in love. Every man wants a woman. Every woman wants a man. So it's like,
not every man wants a woman.
Yeah. You better work that better.
You gotta think about it.
Really? Damn. You know what I mean? Every heterosexual man wants a woman.
Not every woman wants a man either.
Yeah.
Every heterosexual woman wants a man.
All right, we're getting problematic. Like,
Yeah, we're getting too controversial.
Get
We're
to
getting
it.
It's
too
not controversial. It's reality.
Reality is controversial.
No, this is real stuff. Like,
All right, what else?
Shout out to the
No,
LGBT
like-
community.
Yeah, shout outs to them. I love all people, for real. I love all people.
All right, keep going.
Just the fact that you made something about that is, you know, it's deep and it's good because somebody will always relate, always. And I was thinking about doing stuff like that too, so expect it, Chris.
Would you say expected or respected?
No, expect it because
Oh.
I was thinking about doing stuff like that too.
Is that why you gave me such harsh criticism?
Yo, I'm gonna play you a song that I want to make a film
Oh
to.
God, not here, yo.
Why you shouldn't put that?
No,
out
right here,
there?
right now.
What?
Yeah, why not? It's
Well-
a song that already exists.
I mean, I got so much good feedback on the movie, but my harshest criticism came from Sergio.
Oh my
That
God.
just was like tearing it apart.
I was not tearing it apart.
Tearing it
I
apart.
was just being honest with Chris because I was just telling him little things in the film, like technical things, like
what?
the
Sound.
the rumbling in some of the parts, like, you know, microphone rumbling.
Where was the microphone rumbling?
There was some microphone rumbling in the scene where Brittney was in the room. Like unnecessary rumbling. If it was necessary, I'd be like,
I didn't hear
okay.
that shit.
I didn't hear that.
Of course, I studied audio engineering. I
Oh.
heard it. Audio engineering.
Oh my God.
I studied audio engineering, so I
Well,
heard it.
I thought it was fine.
I thought it was fine too. I'm
Usually-
usually nitpicky myself.
You
but-
said
Yo, but listen to this song.
Oh God,
boring.
this is boring.
No, it's not.
Why don't you do this off camera?
Yeah, why are you doing this on camera?
Damn.
You're giving away your ideas to people.
Yeah.
You're right. You're right.
And do
I'm
you
not
have the-
giving away my ideas.
Do you have the license to these songs?
I will get them.
All right, what else?
No, that's it. Shout outs to Adam and Eve.
Well, there's
Why
another
did you
episode.
choose the title Adam and Eve?
Oh, okay. there
What
we
do
go.
what do you know about the real Adam and Eve, and why did you
Oh,
choose
God,
Adam and
exposed.
Eve?
When I came up with the story, everything was really quick because I came up with the idea, I wrote the thing, we shot it. I didn't have a title. It was untitled. I called it Breakup.
He called it Untitled Breakup, people.
Yeah. So, but when I started seeing it together, I just felt the vibe of like, it's dreadful to be in a breakup. It's like the end of the world.
But Adam and Eve never broke up, so what made you call it Adam and Eve?
because it just reminds me of two lovers like on their own island, like in their own place, just going through emotions. Like imagine Adam and Eve just alone and like in their own grief and stuff of over like not being able to take back what happened, you know. I don't know, it just felt right, like the whole situation. I just let it be what it is. It just sounded right. What else would I call it, you know?
The breakup.
There's already a movie called The Breakup.
There's already a movie called Adam and Eve.
2 minus 1.
If I had to call it another title, I call it Hymns of Love, because that's the name of the song. But I don't want that because that's not Hymns of. It works, but I just rather Adam and Eve. You know?
So now me that I'm a spiritual Christian, I cannot call any of my films Adam and Eve. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, that's why.
I'm just kidding.
All right. Yeah, I feel you.
Faith
No,
based.
but a lot of people that are faith-based, they liked it, but at the same time, they wanted to know, like, why.
Right.
Because they're afraid that they wouldn't approve of the movie if I had a different idea of what it represented or whatever.
Nothing derogatory.
But it didn't really have nothing to do with religion. Just we know the couple Adam
Right.
and Eve.
That's why
we know
that's
Adam
why
and Eve.
I was not confused, but just wondering, like, why did you call Adam and Eve
Yeah.
if it's not really anything religious or
Just 'cause.
spiritual or whatever?
Just cause at the same time people bring to it what they want, you know. It's catchy, and maybe that's why it did so well and got views, because people are interested, you know.
Okay.
They're like, oh, intrigued. What is this about? And nobody's really off put if it's not religious based, you know. They're just like, oh, okay, cool. Like, at least he didn't say nothing negative, you know.
So I have a new movie idea. I won't give it all away, but I want all of you guys. Look at this
he
guy
wants
sitting
Mike to
up.
start.
This guy's sitting up like, let me see.
Mike came out like John Cena.
Okay, so check it out. It's gonna be called Dirty Rooms. This is what it's about. It's about preferably a guy and a girl who, listen,
Dirty deals.
dirty rooms, and then the girl goes into the guy's house and she goes into his room and his room is messy. And she's
Mhm.
like, yo, your room is always messy. What the fuck? And he's like, yo, listen.
Mike got the perfect location for this.
My room.
He's thinking like, I got this
My
role.
room is messy.
I got this role. I've been living this character.
My room is messy too. We can do it in my room. So then the girl comes to his room and she's like, yo, what's up with this mess, yo? And he's like, yo, it's not a mess. It's just like a museum, yo. Like, this is what I do. Like, my sheets are messed up because I don't have time. I just work so much that I just have to go. You know, this dresser is right here because I use it.
All right, you don't get into details.
Yeah.
No,
for real.
don't.
Yeah.
No, okay. Basically, she asked him, like, okay, so why is this here? You know, why is this object right here? What is this?
Yeah.
And then he starts explaining, like, oh, okay, well, this object is here. This is what it means
Is
to
this
me.
an emotional, like we put like classical music over
Yeah,
it?
you can
Like,
put
what?
classical music over it. You know
Alright.
what I'm saying? But, like, they go through a roller coaster, like,
Who's shooting it?
Chris is shooting it.
Hey, what? Oh, this is the first time I'm hearing about it.
This is the first time you're hearing about it.
Live on Rebel Film Talk.
Live on Rebel
Get
Film Talk.
exclusives like this.
Exclusives.
Subscribe.
This is history in the making.
All right, guys.
If he likes it, though.
So I think that's it, right?
I think you'll like it.
I think we're good. Thank you guys for joining in. Thanks, Sergio and Mike for being here.
The sun is behind us, so
The sun is behind us.
I wonder
so
what the shot's gonna look
You're
like.
probably disgusting, but let's sign it out. All right. Peace, guys. Thanks for joining us. Follow me at Space Jones 89. Hit us up on Facebook, Rebel Film Talk. If you want to join us for one of these and want to promote your movie or music or anything, hit me up and we can talk. Sergio, you got anything you want to talk about? Anything you want to promote?
I'm gonna put out an album called Friday Vibes. It might include our song Friday Vibes,
It would be fitting.
and it's gonna include some other songs that are very much Friday vibey. It's gonna be very laid back, very bossa nova, very chill. Shout outs to Maria, my friend from Colombia, who is very beautiful and has a beautiful voice. Shout outs to Brittney, who I want to help me with a video. I hope she does. And just shout outs to God for all the talents that I have. And I hope that I use it to make him proud. So shout outs to Chris, the filmmaker. Yes. May my cup overfilleth with joy.
Mike, anything you want to say?
Stay tuned for the future. I got some moves I want to make, and I'm about to take a freaking big risk. So you don't want to miss that, because you're going to see me on a lot of future shit. And you hear it here first.
We don't need roads where we're going. Peace out, Road Film Talk.